परम्पराम् कटाक्षकिरणाचान्दः नमन्मोहाब्दये नमः अनन्तानन्दकृष्णाय जगन्मङ्गलमूर्तये अहमस्मि सदा भावी कदाचिन्नाहमप्रियः ब्रह्मैवाहमतः सिद्धं सच्चिदानन्दलक्षणम्. Any questions, clarifications, or it's all clear up to now? We have done the 11th verse, right?
12th verse.
Yeah.
13th we have to start.
12th verse also, yes. Nitya jnanasya te trayah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 12th verse also we saw, yeah. Clubbing then with thoughts, without thoughts. Clubbing dream and waking together. In fact, if you look at Mandukya Karika, he reduces the three to two. He says there is ignorance in both the states. In all the three states, waking, dream, and deep sleep, there is ignorance. Then, in deep sleep, there is no superimposition. There is no adhyasa. There is only sleep. Viparita bhavana is not there. Vikshepa is not there. But in waking and dream, that is there. To take something as something else is there in waking and dream. So what is the difference between waking and dream? Kuch hai nahi. Yeah. So that's how he takes it there. Gaudapada takes it like that there. Okay. Now, he comes, many of the seer seen logic comes from an old principle that if you are noticing something in something, whether it is action, whether it is movement, whether it is some change, the observer is free from that. This is the same principle that is used in physics. When you are studying about motion, movement, to talk about the speed of a train, etc., you have to be in a framework which is relatively free from that motion. That's how the concept of relative motion and all comes up. So the principle is the same. That an observer is independent of the observed. To start with. Science also brings in the same thing. Not that I'm using science as a validation. I'm just pointing out certain similarities, that's all. I don't need science to validate Vedanta. They're two different disciplines of knowledge. Science is based on your 5 pramanas. Vedanta is an independent pramana. Excuse me. Therefore, Vedanta is not scientific. Anytime you hear Vedanta is scientific, the character doesn't know what he's talking about. Because an important fact, any scientific theory has to have the principle of fallibility. That means you should be able to disprove it at some later time or when there is more data available. Then if you make Vedanta scientific, you are not consciousness, okay? At some future date, we'll say you are not conscious. That's not acceptable. So, you cannot try to make Vedanta scientific. It doesn't work that way. Plus other factors are also there. But some principles that are of observation used will have common grounds. So here he says, Shad Vikaravatam Vetam Nirvikaro Aham Yanyata Tad Vikara Anusandhanam Sarvata Navakalpate. Shad Vikaravatam Veta, the knower, the doer, you, the Ahankara, the knower, the Pramata, the one who knows, the functioning entity, the one who seeks knowledge, the one who seeks things, to know and act, Ahankara. Shad Vikaravan has got the 6 changes. Anyone remembers that? Shad Vikaras. Asti, you are. Then Jayate. Then Vardhate, grows. Then Parinamate, modifies. Maturity, etc. comes in. Physical maturity comes in. Then Apakshiyate. After that, Mriyate, Nashati. Ram Nam Satya. Yeah. 6 changes. Anything in the world goes through.
Could we go through them in English, please? In English, the 6 changes, please?
Yeah. 7 stages of man, Shakespeare. You know the 7 stages of man by Shakespeare, no? Childhood, youth, middle age, old age, like that goes on to death. Birth onwards to death. And the 3 stages of woman. Woman goes through only 3. Birth, childhood, young woman, young woman, young woman, young woman. So it is not that all the Shadvikaras come in the same order. Sometimes Asti, then Mriyate, then Jayate. Asti, Jayate, then before Vardhate, Mriyate can happen. Death is a constant. Yeah, if you are aware of it, death walks with you. Many times in my life, he has come in front. I said, time for a hug? Not yet. Okay. Thoda or time. Some more time is there. That's how it is. Yeah, for all of us. In fact, as a gynecologist, if you study the complications of birth, you'll wonder how anyone gets pregnant in the first place. Yeah, a couple of my friends are gynecologists. And so I would be discussing stuff with them. I'm a sponge for knowledge. Any knowledge anywhere, I'll be a sponge, I'll take it. So, you'll wonder. Yeah. Like one of my students in Delhi, they had to do an elective cesarean, premature baby. Planned, elective meaning planned. And she was very worried. They want to remove the baby 1 month before. What will happen? I said, what is the estimated weight of the baby as of now? Oh, 6 pounds, 5.5, 6 pounds. Safe. Samji, how can you say that? I said, I was premature. What's the problem? Those days there was no incubator and things like that. The doctor said, wait for 3 days before you inform anybody. Poor guy didn't know what a tough cookie I was. Jokes apart. And death will walk with you all the time. Shad Vikaravan. Anything that is there goes through these 6 stages. Samsara means Shad Vikara. Another way of looking at it. Shad Vikaras, 6 changes. And Nirvikaraha ahamanyata. I'm other than that. Yeah.
He had asked you to translate the 6 stages in English.
To say it in English. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting sometimes. You're so much of the part of the crowd.
No, I know them, but I don't
Yeah.
remember. So
Okay. Asti is. You exist. Then jayate, born. Then vardate, it grows. Then parinamate, it modifies. Like a child going through all the physical hormonal changes, modifications. Parinamate. Parinamate. Then apakshiyate, declines. Declines. And finally, mriyate, death. And the journey starts again. Asti, because after death, what dies? Body. What about the ahankara? As jiva? Asti. That's why it starts with asti. Ahankara asti. It is there. Another birth. Who will be my parents? Oh, we choose our own parents. पागल बन गए क्या? A lot of us wouldn't have chosen the same parents. Yatha karma, yatha jnanam. Shastra says you don't choose. You have to undergo some karma. For that you have to be born in such situation. So, yeah. That's all. Otherwise, half the Indians would have chosen to be in states. Birth only, now why have the hassle of being born in India, then get a visa and go there? You don't choose anything. Karma takes care of it. Therefore, asti, jayate, all that. Shadvikara. Aham anyatha nirvikara. I am other than that. Therefore, nirvikara. I don't have the shadvikaras. These 6 vikaras cover everything. I got fever. Does it cover that? Yes. Parinamate. Something modifying your state. No? Yeah. Old age. Apakshiyate. Declining. Yeah.
Swamiji, the word Veta is the knower of this.
Veta is knower as ahankara. Yeah.
Okay.
Because shadvikara one. Yeah. I am other than that. Okay. Therefore, nirvikara. If I am the one who's seeing all the changes, I must be free from the changes. Even your mind goes through all this. Certain thought, an idea, asti. An idea is born, jayate, then grows, then modifies to make it practical. Then, after that, the idea, time is over for the idea. Apakshiyate. How many things were wonderful inventions are out of this now? In fact, I'm sure there are youngsters here who have not seen a cassette player. Have you seen a cassette player? You've seen, okay. Yeah. Typewriters. Certain functions have gone. Data entry. Nobody is data entry now anymore. Those ideas are gone. They were wonderful at its time. Now they're gone. Yeah. Typewriting and shorthand were skills very much in demand once upon a time. Yeah. Dictaphones.
Yes.
That was the death knell of the shorthand. Dictaphones. Again, many people are not. Who uses dictaphone nowadays? Yeah. I am very poor at typing, even two thumb typing. So someone said, Swami, you should get you a dictaphone. Then you can record it and send it to somebody, they will type it out for you. I said, what is a phone meant for? You send a voice message over WhatsApp, no? Why do you need a separate dictaphone? Yeah, your phone is there, send a voice message, do the same job. Dictaphone gone. So, even an ideas, concepts, gone. What happened to Telegram? I'm not talking about the app. I'm talking about the actual telegram that you used to send. So when I used to come to Rishikesh, my mother used to insist, please send a telegram, you'll reach safe. Okay, for her peace of mind, I will send her. And I would write there, letter follows, no? That's what you normally write. Safe, letter follows. But in Rishikesh, the other way around. You write a letter and say telegram follows. Because it takes time. Yeah. Where is Jagdishan gone? Because I think he has forgotten it's at 9 o'clock. He is sending messages on WhatsApp. He is well known for that. 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll get a message from him. Yeah. That is at the holy banks, on Dhananda Ashram, at the holy banks of the Ganga, etc. मैं क्या करूं? The observer of the changes, is free from the changes. Yeah, someone sent him a message saying, please come to the classes on. Okay, therefore he says, tad vikara anusandhanam. Why do you say that? Tad vikara anusandhanam. To recognize the changes, okay, to observe those changes, sarvata na avakalpeta. If I was not free of the changes, I will not be the observer of the changes. I will not know that this change is happening. I will not know the change is happening. Because the change is me. I don't objectify myself. Therefore, whatever you objectify, you are different from. Corollary. You're different from. So all samsara changes you, objectify. You are free. Even at that level of understanding, you're free. How will you notice the changes then? You will notice especially when you are going on a boat in the Ganga. You are moving or the mountain is moving. See, in a train it's fast. You don't notice it. Here, you will suddenly find that shift happening. Those of you who are going river rafting today, when you are at a slower stretch, smoother stretch, observe the sign and see that. Because you are also in the motion. So how can you see yourself independent of the motion? Difficult. Same way here. There it is difficult, here it's not possible. Because your observer of the change is free from the change. Certain fundamental principles happen, that way. This is functioning. Later on in Vedanta we'll say, the observer and the observed is one and the same. Because you are everything. He said that before. Not elaborated, but he said that. Yeah. Tena tena hi rupena jayate liyate muhuhu vikari vastu tasyesham anasandrita kutaha anusandatrita kutaha. All the tena tena hi rupena, various forms that come up in the world, various forms that come up. Jayate liyate muhur muhur. Is born and goes. Every moment something is born, something goes. How many babies are born right now in India? A few million. How many people die? Just in India. Again a few million. Every day, every moment. Jayate liyate muhur muhur. Therefore, vikar vastu taisesham. All the vikaras belong to the forms. All the vikaras belong to those forms. What is the creation? Name and form. No? I said that before, remember? What is the creation? A name and a form. What is this? A sheet of paper. If it is cut and bound together, book. What is the difference between book and paper? Two forms, that's all, isn't it? Just forms. Therefore, all that you talk about creation is form for which you are given a name. Why name? Because you have to identify, distinguish it, and deal with it. Like all sadhus are called Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. Then which is which sadhu? Everyone is Ananda. So some name. Brahma Prajna, Brahma Vidaha, Brahma Prakasha, Atma Prakasha. Right, that is just to distinguish one Ananda from another Ananda. Otherwise it will be confusing. Now who is who? Whom are you talking about? Therefore for functioning you need a name, etc. with a form. You have to name it. Otherwise how do you deal with it? And same name can create confusions. Like in Sandipni ashram when we are there was one Swami Dayananda who was a teacher, who was a guru. And there was another Dayananda working in the office. So somebody, all landlines those days, no cell phones. So somebody called up the ashram and said, I want to speak to Dayananda. So he said, yeah, Dayananda speaking, to Swami Dayananda. He said, yes, Dayananda speaking. Swamiji, are you there in the ashram? I'm coming in 1 hour to meet you. Yes, yes, I'm here. So the people come. And Puja Swamiji is just going out. Swamiji, I just spoke to you. You said you were there. I didn't speak to you. You never called me. I'm not joking. This happened. So, there is our Dayananda. There you are. Okay. So, then Swamiji says, see, this will be a little bit of a problem. One of us have to change her. And that guy is not a Swami yet. So Swamiji, I like my name. I can't change my name. Yeah, but my name I have already changed. This is my sannyasi name. So you better change. That's the name your parents gave you. So Dayanand became Jayanand. Yeah. Why am I saying this? Because you need a name to deal with a form. So the whole creation is about name and form. What else is it?
Language also is,
Huh?
language comes before the name. The
Yeah.
starts with the words, right? The words, name and form.
Yeah.
And function.
Word, name, form, function, all that will come in. Okay.
We used to have two Ranganathans in Glaxo.
Yeah?
So there's a lot of confusion.
Yeah, always will be there. Yeah.
So the one was asked to change D.R. Nathan.
Yeah, no. Because names are very often repeated. Na? You look at my phone. There is one Sandra from Turkey, there is one Sandra from Bandra, and there is. Oh no, what can I do with the same names? Yeah. Then one Kavita Mohan, one Kavita Shah, who might say her name is Kavita Taichi. Because the first time I met her, Tai Chi class. So, name to deal with anything. You have to name to deal with it. Therefore, creation is nothing but names and forms. I gave you the example of the pot. He comes from a culture where there is no pot. How will you recognize a pot? If you say it's a pot, you'll say what? Where is the pot? Yeah, for him it's a low table. Serves a function. No, the part is meant to sit on. But that doesn't look like a chair. It's not a chair. Yeah. So it's all whole creation, names and forms. And all the Shad Vikaras belong to names and forms. All the Shad Vikaras belong to names and form. In fact, you can be sure if it is undergoing some change, it is a form. Udupi Hotel. Today's steam idli becomes tomorrow's fried idli. Same thing now. What else is it? That's all the thing. Therefore, he says, if the changes belong to the form, how can it belong to me? Why? I'm the observer of that form. Throat is undergoing a lot of changes. Who's seeing it? You. Do you have a bad throat? No. But you're coughing away. Yes. Shifting eye. The eye shifts. Your identification shifts. Your understanding of the eye shifts. Nothing else shifts. Again, New Age thinking. Lot of this New Age nonsense goes. One, if you really realize soul, you are an evolved soul, you will enjoy perfect health. That means everyone with a perfect health should be a realized soul. Ulta. Not true. We are talking about the nature of the Atma. We are not talking about the functional realities. The functional realities will keep changing. That's why it's functional. Because functioning itself implies change. Without change, is there a function? Excuse me, I'm sorry, this something is irritating.
I hope it's not the students.
Huh?
I hope it's not the students.
Definitely not.
You have country?
Okay. Kyana Sundarta Kataha. Okay, now he brings in a technical point here. Very nice. Nascha swajanma nashavam drashtum arhati kaschana tauhi prag uttara bhavaha charma pratamakshanam. Nacha swajanma nasho va. Your own birth or death, you cannot see. Thanks. Your own birth or death, you cannot see, he says. That's why remember I said that exercise in one of the satsangs. You want to learn to sleep alert? Catch the moment when you go to sleep. Tell me, is it possible? It is a waker that is negated when you go to sleep. So how will the waker observe the point of sleep? Why are you giving it an exercise? So that the habit of alertness continues. That's all. You can never catch it.
It's a transition, sir. It's a transition.
You can't. How will you catch the moment you fall asleep? You can never do it. That exercise is not meant to catch the moment. That exercise will make you alert. So that even when you sleep, you're sleeping like a dog. 1 year is up.
Cocked up.
Yeah. Because that's part of the warrior training, the martial training. That's how you have to be. When you're awake, both your eyes and ears are functioning. When you're asleep, one of them is functioning. Yeah. I am hard of hearing. But because of this whole training, an unusual sound, I will get up. Unusual sound. Even now I'll get up. The whole training that goes through, carry forward. But that moment can never catch. Therefore, nacha swanma janmo nashova. Your own birth, your own destruction. It's only you had a near-death experience. Correct? What is that? You trying to leave the body and being pulled back. No? So you are separate from the body. Death is for the body. Therefore, you, the jiva, can see the death of the body. But the body does not see its own death. The body is too busy struggling to be alive. Yeah. You can say, no, everything is closing down. No, few breaths left. Yeah. So now I have a choice. Say goodbye to everyone once again, or focus on what I really am. Once if you know the truth, it doesn't matter. If you don't know the truth, you don't know where I picked it up from. No? Have you seen that movie? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where the hero is dying. One breath left. Don't waste it on me. His lady love says that, don't waste it on me. Focus on the reality. Yeah. If you know the truth, it doesn't matter what you're focused on. Because you're never away from the truth. If you don't know the truth, then you have to do all those things to give a direction to your next life and all that stuff. But the body by itself will never know it's dying. I mean, it'll know it's dying, but it'll not be able to catch the moment of birth or death. Why? Here. Drishtumarhati kashana. You can never see it, he says. Why? Tauhi prag uttar bhavaha. Because birth is the finito of the last moment of his prior non-existence. The state that you were there before you were born, in this state you did not exist. Therefore your birth, or it will be easier to understand, I am making this cup. Before this tumbler was made, the tumbler did not exist. It had a prior non-existence. Correct? Prior non-existence. The birth of this tumbler is the last moment, the death of the prior non-existence. So will the tumbler know I did not exist before? Because the moment the tumbler is born, that is gone. Moment tumbler is born, that is gone. So the tumbler will not know what is before. And charma pratmakshano. Same way with death. When the tumbler is destroyed, the posterior non-existence starts. The later non-existence starts. Isn't it? Non-existing before, non-existing. I break it up. I break it up. Gone. Tumbler gone. Non-existent. So the death of the tumbler is the birth of the later non-existence. So how will the tumbler know what is there later? It's not there. Before it cannot know because it is not there. Later it cannot know because it will not be there. Swamiji, I can see my birth and death. Correct. Why? Because you are not the body that is born and die. The birth of a thought is the last minute of the previous one. Later, birth of a thought. Therefore, the thought cannot see its own birth, its own death. For those who are been with me for some time, this is dismissal of Kshanika Vijnanavada, the Buddhistic thinking. You are nothing but a flicker of consciousness. How will you know before or later? You won't. Previous thought, how will you know? This thought is only now. But I know, yes, you know. Because you are the witness who is witnessing that. Knowledge, what is there before, not later. You know, because you witnessed that. I was ignorant, I am knowledgeable now. Who says? I, the witness, says that. Knowledge cannot know ignorance. Ignorance cannot know knowledge. It's like the sun wanting to meet night. Night and day. There's a movie, Night and Day. No? They want to meet each other. Sangam kabhi hoga. When will the meeting happen? Never. But you see both. And you see the in-between time also. Sunrise and sunset. Who sees? You see, not the sun or the moon. Same way here. Knowledge and ignorance you have. Not knowledge doesn't know ignorance. Ignorance doesn't know knowledge. They mutually displace each other. In fact, knowledge negates ignorance. Therefore, all changes are not known by the thing that undergoes the changes. It's known by you. Level of the body. Mind. Emotions. Emotions are also like that. No? I love you will become I allow you. You go your way, I go mine. Where love has gone. Finite thing. But we swore to be together for a lifetime. Good. You really experience samsara. That's how it is. Emotions change, the ideas change, thinking changes, cognition changes, everything changes. How do you know? You are witnessing the whole thing. That means you are free from the whole thing. That means you are changeless. That means indirectly I am saying you are timeless. You are timeless. Because all changes in time. All changes in time, no? All change happens in time. If all change happens in time and there's no change for you, you're changeless. Timeless. Where is birth and death? Where is birth and death? नहीं है. You can see the body die. In fact, there are meditations like that. What's happening today? I thought it was getting better. Body is demanding. I am changing, I am changing. You may be changeless, but I'll harass you by changing. You can't harass me. I can only compromise by functioning a little bit. That's all. Or kuch nahi.
Should I get hot water or not?
Relax. आधा घंटे में चाय पी का जाके. हाँ, don't worry. Yeah. Part of the game. Okay, should I say it on the recording? Long back when my teacher was suffering, I took some of his prarabdha on me. There are methods of doing that. So sometimes like this it manifests. It is not yet fully over, gone from me. Because I have to go through it. It's not fully over. And I'm right here on the banks of the Ganges. So probably it will be over this time with this round. That prarabdha will be over. Yeah. I took it on because he was suffering too much. And he was frail where I am. This was a few years back. I'm tough, I'm this thing. I can take it. So this is the last bit of that prarabdha going away. Yeah. Because prarabdha has to be gone through. So if you're taken it on, you have to go through it. So I'm happy with that. Right? It's going through. And exactly the same thing that's happening to him is happening to me. In this, what is that? 100 different medical opinions are coming. All of them help. All of them help. Yeah. But temporary. It's okay. Now don't come and ask me, Swamiji, how did you change that? How did you accept it? Forget it. So there's a different system altogether. It's got nothing to do with Vedanta. Okay, yeah. Got nothing to do with it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then, now, he is handling another dimension. But Swamiji, in deep sleep, I am not conscious of anything, no? So can I not say I'm unconscious? He is answering that. Na prakasho aham ityuttari iti yuktirhi yat prakasha nibandhana suprakasham tamatmanam aprakasho katam sprishet na prakasho aham asmi iti uttira. This statement, I am unconscious. I am not a conscious entity. Yat prakasha nibandhana depends on you being conscious. Only a conscious being can make a statement, I am conscious or unconscious. Okay. This Been joking enough on yoga, now let me catch astrology for a change. There was this astrologer, very well known. His predictions never go wrong. Predictions. That's the most difficult aspect of astrology, okay? Because too many factors are involved. Now, this guy was so good. He predicted his own death. Thursday, 4 o'clock in the evening, he'll die. So he called his wife and kids and all and said, see, 4 o'clock I'm going to go away. Oh my God. And I would like to go comfortably. Therefore, I will lie on my bed. People can come if they want to, but I'll lie in my bed and go. Fine. So 5 to 4 he went and lay down. And he's like, 10 minutes later a friend walks in. What are you doing? It's past 4, why are you lying down? I am dead. To say I am dead, you should be alive. To say I am unconscious, I should be conscious enough, no? Isn't it? Without having a tongue, can you say I am dumb? I don't have a tongue. I can't speak. So the whole game is like that. You can't say I am conscious or unconscious unless you are a conscious being. Swaprakasham tamatmanam. Swaprakasham tamatmanam. The Atma, which is Swaprakasha. Swaprakasha means always of the nature of consciousness. Svatagnatam. Anything in the world, like this tumbler, you know because you see it, isn't it? The river you know because you see it. The car you infer because of the sound. Infer. So everything in the world is known by a pramana, by a means of knowledge. Whole world is pramanajanyam. Simpler way in science, no event without an observer. So the whole world you know because of a pramana. How do you know you exist? What pramana do you use? Do you exist? Exist? Hold on, I'll check and tell you. Yeah, I exist. You don't have to do that. I must be existing. Why? Because I'm married and girls are very smart nowadays. They don't marry non-existent guys. There's no inference. There's no perception involved in it. Yeah?
Swamiji, please give the example of someone who watches the shunya.
Someone who
Watches the shunyata state.
I think
Someone who watches Shunyata.
The sakshi and
yeah, I'll come to that. So this idea that the self is self-evident to you, Swaprakasha. Then how did some philosophers come to the idea that I'm Shunya? Two things, minimum 2 ways of looking at it. Aham Shunya can come from an experience where you experience nothingness in Samadhi. Because in deep Samadhi, there is no experience of the world nor an awareness of yourself. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, what they talk, especially in yoga, they talk about this. Which, when they went through this experience, they called it Shunya. Because nothingness. Nothing of this was there. That's why he's saying, to say nothing was there you have to be there. To say nothing is there, you have to be there now. Otherwise, how will you say nothing is there? There is nothing on this part of the table. Who is saying that? I am there to say that. So you can't say there is nothing unless you are there. So I am always present. That's the negation of Shunya. Then giving benefit of doubt. Buddhist monks I was discussing with, giving benefit of doubt to them. I said, what exactly do you mean when you say Shunya? Says, none of all this is there. But you are there. Yeah, but not I. Not the thinking, feeling. Correct, not the thinking, feeling entity. But you have to be there to say you are not there. So what they mean is absence of all these names and forms. When they use the word Shunya, that's why we came to an understanding. So let us call it non-conceptual reality. A reality which is non-conceptual. Some of you invented a new term, nothing. I have not invented anything. Nirgunam Brahman. Nirgunam without any qualities, without any concepts. Same thing, translated in English, that's all. Non-conceptual. So by Shunya they actually mean non-conceptual. And Shunya is a term used in the Shastra to indicate Maya. The idea of infinity and zero both came in the world from India. Infinity is I, the self. Shunya is Maya. Why? Itself does not have a value, but adds value to everything. Itself does not have a value, zero, but adds value to everything. That's what Maya is. So we will say in our Sahasranamas, Shunyave Namaha. Then we'll add Shunya Sakshine Namaha. The one who's witnessing that zero. That Shunya. The absence of everything. To that, my namaskaras. So, however way you look at it, he puts it in very simple terms. All ideas of existing, non-existing, conscious, non-conscious, all of that depends upon you. This Lama used to put it in very nice terms, Christy boy, you there, everything there. You not there, nothing there. His English was a bit funny like that. You there, everything there. You not there, nothing there. Correct, right? Everything is dependent on the conscious entity.
The capital I. The capital I.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. Shunya does not exist apart from a concept. In fact, nothingness does not exist except as a concept. What example can you give of something that doesn't exist? My horns. Haven't you seen? Last night I polished it and trimmed it. It's nice and pointy, Better be careful if you come near. Not there. Your horns are not there. Bilkul non-existent. Total non-existent. No. The horn is there on a rhinoceros and my head is there here. The combination of the rhinoceros horn and my head, that combination is not there, isn't it? So the idea of not there, non-existent, is dependent on two existing concepts. My head and the horn on the rhino. So tell me any example of non-existence. When all this is not there, all what is not there? This. Who's saying it? I.
There's nothing like nothingness.
Huh?
There's nothing like nothingness.
Yeah, there's nothing like nothingness. From nothing, everything has come. Shiva is beyond all knowledge, is the state of pure nothingness. Shiva, that which is not there is idiocy. A great popular teacher speaks this nonsense. Shiva means Mangala Sarupa. That which is not there, what he's talking about is Maya. Ya ma sa Maya, sa Maya. That which is not there is called Maya. That definition is put into Shiva. Shiva is Mangala Sarupa. That's the meaning of the word Shiva. But I can forgive him. He calls himself uneducated guru. Obvious. Very obvious. Yeah. Shiva is not nothingness. And the nothingness manifested in earth 14,000 years ago. Huh? How can nothingness manifest on earth? As something. Nothingness will manifest as nothing. Something will manifest as something. Yeah. This is universal order that doesn't change. From nothing, nothing will come. From something, something can come. From something, nothing cannot come. Because something is there. From nothing, nothing can come.
From something
Therefore,
nothing
all
may not come.
Huh?
From something nothing may not
May
come.
not come, yeah. Cannot come. From something, nothing cannot come. How it can come? Therefore, Swaprakasha Tadatmanam. That Swaprakasha Atmanam. Aprakasham Katam Sprashit. How can it have any contact with ignorance or nothingness? How can it have any contact? How can the sun have contact with darkness? How can a light and darkness exist at the same place, at the same time? Not possible. So similarly, how can I be ignorant? How can you be ignorant? You are not ignorant. You are objectifying your ignorance. Your mind has got ignorance in it. Therefore, Vedantic knowledge has to take place in the mind, because it is the mind that has ignorance, and it is the mind that ignorance has to be negated. The Upanishad is very clear on that. Manasa eva anudrashtavyam. But Swamiji said Atma beyond the mind. Yes. Therefore, that which is beyond the mind has to be known through the mind itself. That which is beyond the words has to be known through words itself. How by Lakshana? By implication. We've seen that. Remember when I talked about the awareness, consciousness, etc. How you shift attention from the direct meaning of the word awareness, which stands for generalized knowledge, to the awareness that is aware of the knowledge. So that's how by through words only you are knowing. No? That is the methodology of teaching. One who has a methodology can teach it. If you don't have that methodology, you don't know how to use the implication, then it doesn't work. Then you will have to say transcend the mind, etc. In fact, I want to spend a minute or two on that. Because these concepts are floating around, You transcend the mind to know the truth. Who has to transcend? If you, by you, the Atma is implied, Atma is already beyond the mind. It doesn't have to go beyond the mind. If by you, you mean the mind cannot go beyond the mind anyway. Atma need not go beyond the mind. Mind cannot go beyond the mind. It all sounds nice because the example given will be like someone doing a pole vault. Okay? Someone doing a pole vault.
You can't carry that.
You use that pole to rise yourself, and then you leave the pole and go on to the other side. It sounds nice. But who's the guy who's going on the other side? Two possibilities. Ahankara, you, which is the mind, or you, the Atma. Atma is already beyond. Mind cannot go beyond. So who is transcending? Who is transcending? You are transcending. Which you? You are transcending means which you? The seeker, I? But the seeker is the sought in Vedanta. Not understanding these nuances, you get stuck in this type of false logic.
Very popular.
Yeah,
Got it.
all that. Our study groups all talk like this only. This is important to understand. Yan manasa na manute, that which cannot be known by the mind, which is not an object of the mind, has to be known by the mind. As I, not as this. It has to be known as I, not as this. What are we doing in the teaching of Vedanta? Negating ignorance. Atma is already I. Do you really have to know yourself? I already know I am. No? As far as I am is concerned, there is no doubt. So where is the problem? Main kaun hoon? What am I? The problem is only with what am I? Because I am, my erroneous notions of myself has to be negated, destroyed. Conceptual self negated. What I am has to be revealed as pure consciousness. That's all the teaching that has to do. When you get it, you'll say, It happens for a second. Split second knowledge will take place. But then it's a class. So we are moving forward. Someone like me speaks fast. We're moving fast. I got it, but I missed it. Don't worry, every class that it can click. Because every class is repeated. And then it's clear. A time comes when it's all very clear. Does it take time? No. Does it really take time? No. If you are an Uttamadhikari, meaning a completely qualified student, what is qualification? Not whether you know Sanskrit or not in which household you are born, what's your background. Those are not important. Then, Viveka, thinking, clear-cut thinking. Vairagya, a sense of objectivity towards things. Mastery of the mind is Samaha. That's why yoga becomes very important. Samaha. Psychology becomes important because mastery of the mind. Then Damaha, my physical mastery. One more jalebi. Hey, you're diabetic. Discipline. Drop. I'm not diabetic. Eat. Damaha. Uparati. Karma yoga nishta. Having that pleasant mind. Even when things are going wrong, mind is pleasant. Uparati. Titiksha. Ability to put up with the pinpricks of life. If you live in Bombay, you are good at that. If you live in Rishikesh, you are even better. To live here is tapas. Why? Summer it's so hot, you can fry eggs on the rock outside. Winter, January, is freezing. Monsoon, flooded out. Except for winter, all the other 3 seasons, malarial. When I was here, I got malaria 4-5 times. After that, by that time the ashram came up a bit, I started giving precautionary doses to everyone in the ashram. Like Saturday routine, go, here. 2 quinine tablets. Please take. I'll take it later. Here, please, right now. I don't want to look after the guy if he gets malaria. Might as well prevent it. So, titiksha, then samadhana, forbearance, acceptance of people for what they are, and a strong desire for moksha. If this is there in full measure, You can listen and be free. Like Arjuna on the battlefield. This is Maharati. What you are talking to him about discipline and objectivity and things like that. Maharati. He listened and listened and listened and asked 100 questions. At the end of it, Nashto Moha, delusion gone. The Gandhiva that fell in from my hands leaves back into my hands. Let's roll, let's ride.
The Chitikya
The battle
and
of-
the Samadhana are the
Yeah.
thin border.
Acceptance of people, forbearance. Yeah.
The Chitikya also forbearance.
Yeah. Yeah. So, fine. Or like Maitreyi, Gargi, etc. Please teach me. Starts from a different focus. From a lover's focus. Yajnavalkya teaches. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Because they are husband and wife. There's a relationship. There's a love bonding between the two. So he starts from that point. At the end of it, fine. No more delusion. Why? They were all highly prepared students. But outside the pages of the Upanishads or the Gita, I have not found. I was not like that. I was not that highly prepared. Okay, I had to struggle with the knowledge. My teacher also had to struggle. His teacher also had to struggle. 3-4 generations I know. You all struggle. So if you are struggling, you are in good company. Okay. But the Swayam Prakash Atma, all you have to do is know yourself. Only what you are is not known to you. That you are is known. May who you know. May kon who is a question. That's all the question is. Who am I? There's a movie also made. Who am I? Jackie Chan. Martial art movie becomes. Kya champion look, any title, anything you think good becomes a movie. But all this is at the back of that knowledge. When you're making all this Kung Fu Panda, the secret of the dragon. Anyone who looks at what do you see? Not nothing. That's a mistake. You see everything. Because you're seeing yourself. There was a older movie made like that, where this martial artist is going through whole thing to see the book, gain the book of wisdom. And the book of wisdom is a mirror. And he comes out and he has a mentor waiting outside for him. He says, I have seen that book long back. You go and have a look. He comes back and says, what do you see? Everything. That is the knowledge. Yeah, you are everything. You are not a finite entity. That's the teaching. Therefore, how can you have ignorance about yourself? You don't have, only your mind has. You, the self, is not ignorant. You are objectifying the ignorance. Your mind is ignorant. Therefore, in that mind, we need this knowledge. And once the knowledge comes, you're fine. So ignorance doesn't affect you, it only affects your mind. And then after you gain the knowledge, this knowledge, you can afford to have some ignorance about other things. You pick up enough knowledge for your life, to make your life manageable. Nowadays you need a lot for that. But that's all.